Yep, we back at it, Homegrown Radio. Chuck Dizzle, DJ Head up in here,
West
and we
Coast.
got Valeo's own man, Young T.O. What's the word, big dog?
And chilling, cooling, shooting this video right now, working.
Hey, when he
Man,
when he hopped on right now, he was live. He was in the middle of the desert. Real quick.
was
Hey, T.O., real quick. Can you show us where you at? Like, go
the
outside real quick.
location.
Just show. My bad. I didn't want to fuck up what you got going, but just show like this fool's like all the way. Like he at the California Love video.
He on location, location.
This shit, desert.
Hey, bro,
I
it's a
thought it was gonna have a fucking network gonna be working the Wi-Fi on this motherfucker or not.
Right.
We glad you're here. So we understand if it go in and out, man. But it's a blessing to be working, especially with the year that's been going on like crazy, man. With quarantine and COVID-19 and everything, how has that affected your hustle? Has it turned things up or kind of like slowed things down on your end?
I'd say probably just from being from like the Bay Area and shit, we don't really got like no big club scenes and shit like that. So for me, it slowed down on like the show aspect, like because mostly a nigga be doing like ticketed shows and shit like that. Niggas don't really be doing like clubs and could like how the South be having clubs, nigga could do all this shit. We don't really be having, we don't got it like that. So that's the
smart.
only thing really. But other than that, it's like niggas just keeping it pushing, doing whatever he could do.
I was just telling you, like, I ain't seen you in a minute, probably since you did my BET stage.
Oh, wow.
Like a while back. But I've been seeing you out here. You drop projects. You ain't stopped. Like ever since you was like on your Young T.O. shit, bro. Like you've been putting out music, like boom, 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 back to back. And I think that's how the Bay get down anyway, though. Like the Bay kind of just be dropping music. Like y'all don't really stop putting out music. When you go in to make a project, are you thinking about like, okay, I need to have it out by this date? Like when you did with was it Jupiter? Or are you thinking about like, I'm gonna just create and then drop it when it's done?
My thing more about it is it really be like project based. So like you said, coming from the Bay Area is like I grew up on like, you feel me, Messy Marv, Jacka, shit like that. Like niggas dropping all day. Like you go, it's nigga every week you hearing a new tape with some shit on here. Like that's just how you gotta flood the streets when you coming from the Bay Area because there ain't too many outlets and opportunities. That's why the independent grind is so big because we really just doing this shit on our own. And then when the world get a hold of it, it's a beautiful thing. If not, we still gonna just keep this shit lit and just keep dropping for everybody who do here. So that's really the whole mindset to it is just keep going, keep growing, running them laps like Nipsey Hussle would say.
Yo, Young T.O., man, I know how it looked for us, being from LA, how excited we were to see, Too Short and E40 hit that stage and do the verses, man. But somebody like you know what I mean? Like, how does it feel from a Bay Area native? What did it look like through you guys' lens to see them legends hit the stage and just like go up crazy?
I feel like it was a big look because, like I said, we really be outcasted from the rest of everything else that be going on. So for them to actually add some Bay Area artists into this versus shit that you got all of these other legends on, it actually clarifies like, no, nigga, we legends too. Like, don't get this shit confused. So that's why I really fucked with it because it was plus, and it was Vallejo and Oakland. So that's two different main hubs in the Bay Area. So it ain't just like it's giving light to one city, it's giving love to the whole Bay in general.
Are you as offended as I am when people from the East Coast think that LA and the Bay is the same thing?
Man, the thing about it is it's definitely totally different. Like
it's totally different.
It's totally different. Two different things, definitely.
But when people say
it's
like,
similar,
oh yeah,
it is similar. Don't get it confused. It's on some West Coast shit.
Right.
But if you're not looking from a West Coast perspective and you out here, it's definitely two different worlds.
The marriage between the LA and the Bay to me has gotten significantly better over the years because it's always been, like you said, separated. Like Fresno is kind of like, we all know, like Fresno is like kind of like the midpoint almost, right? But I seen ever since, I don't want to give a timestamp on it, but I have seen over the years a lot more collaboration between LA and the Bay. What made you link up with the homie Pacman to do the Lord Knows project? Like, how did that come up?
It was really just on some genuine shit for real. Like when I had came out here to LA, I had ended up meeting Nipsey Hussle and locking in with him. So he tied me in with J Stone heavily, and then just through that, me and Pacman ended up fucking around, making a song, getting in the studio like 2018, or I think, or 19, we had made a song, but we had never put it out. It ain't even go on the project, and then it was just a song that I had wanted him on because it was like some G-Funk type shit. So I'm like, man, let me get a LA nigga on here. And I really fucked with like the whole All Money In movement since like coming up as a little kid. So for me, it was more like on some just goals type shit, like more than anything. Like for me, because just growing up on this type shit, like looking up to these niggas and now just like being somebody that they could look at and also got mutual respect for, and it was just all came together.
Bucket list shit. So
Exactly.
when y'all did this project, like was it a span, like you said you did a song and it never came out, but when y'all put the project together, was it something like, are we gonna lock in, like you know how Future and Drake did the project, we gonna get in the studio for a weekend and knock this shit out? Or
when we actually decided to do the project, like it was probably like early last year, like when we actually decided to do it, and shit, the first day that we got in the studio and we went in there, we did like 9 songs, like instantly. The
Are you
first day,
serious?
9
Wow.
songs, like in one day type shit, like instantly, because I don't write my shit. I just go in the booth. So he seen me going in there, he like, shit, I'm just gonna go in there.
Yeah, I ain't gonna let you do that to me.
It's like friendly competition. Like he going, I'm going. So he like, I'm like, oh, you going crazy. Turn up the next beat then. I'm trying to rip something. He like turn on the next beat then. Like, you know, because at the same time, we want to give both our fans what they want. We want to give the LA, we want to give my fans, we want to, you know, we want to satisfy everything. So we want to come with some of my vibes and his vibes and just blend it together and make it like some real beta LA type shit. Like
you know,
blend, because I feel like we've been needing it, because like you say, it's different. You got we all West Coast, but you know, it's the LA and you got the Bay, but it's so similar. And it's to the point to where the South been running the game for so long that they got how many different states and this and that in the South. Like least we could do is come together as a state.
Facts. That's a fact. I'm glad you said that, bro. When it comes to like, I mean, you know, stranger to working with other people in the studio, do you work better solo, like as far as in the room with or you work better in that situation with like with you and Pat going back and forth?
I really like, well, when I do a song with somebody, like I would prefer if we do the song together, just because to match energy, just the vibe, to the vibe. Plus, I don't really just like doing songs with people to do it. Like,
I know, because like, Jupiter only had like one feature on that motherfucker. Or like,
because I just feel like it's power in music, bro. And it's like at the end of the day, we controlling a lot of what's going on for the younger motherfuckers who not in this shit. They going and they being controlled by the higher up power of the moves and shit that we be making and shit like that in this music shit. So for me, it's like I want authentic, the real motherfuckers. I don't want to just be making a song with you and then you leading these people in the wrong. Like you're not even living by what you rapping about. Like I don't like that, because it's a lot of people, because I was one, like I was a kid that didn't have my pops in my life like that. So I was strictly influenced by music and rappers and shit. So therefore, this is the life I chose. And it's like, once I got in this shit and started going through all this shit, it's like, damn, like I'm gonna keep it real. Like I'm not even gonna send y'all down this path how y'all going through all this shit, and I ain't really doing this shit. Like, cause a lot of people that I thought was this or that, the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing today, and I had to go through a lot of my hardships and this and that, because I wanted to be somebody. Come to find out, these niggas wasn't even all what it was cracked up to be. So I did all this shit. You feel me? So I don't send people down that wrong path. Like I'm gonna tell you, like if you following me, just know like, I'm really out here with this shit. So every day that you living and that you listening to me, just know I'm somewhere really living this shit, so you could feel my shit and know like, okay, I'm good, I'm straight, I'm gonna make it through this shit. He making it through this shit. He's somewhere out there right now, keeping this gangster shit going. So let me do the same thing.
Word.
How intentional are you with it when it comes to like other things aside from the music that helps with the music, right? Like the visuals. You out in the desert right now. Are you the one that like picks the locations for these things? When it comes to the treatments, do you have your hands involved with those things as well, or do you just kind of stick to the music?
I really just be trying to make do with what a nigga got, but at the end of the day though, a nigga really just, I be want to get my whole vision across. So like for me, it ain't like a nigga, an artist and a rapper and shit, but I don't just be thinking just about the song itself. Like I also think about how I want to present this song, how I want you to see this song, like everything about it, to even the artwork, like to the artwork for Jupiter. Like it was probably like 3 o'clock in the morning or something, and I was just sitting there getting loaded. I'm just in the house, hiding the motherfucker, and I just start thinking in my head, like I just start picturing like me just sitting in a fucking on top of a spaceship in the middle of space or something, with like Jupiter right there, and I'm just picturing it. So then I grab my phone, I just drew this shit out like on the notes, like just with my finger type shit with the draw out. Sent it to the nigga like, man, bro, I want you to make some shit like this. Like I had a little orange circle. I want the planet right there. I want me right here, this and that. And then he sent the shit back. So I ain't make the shit, but I made the shit. Like,
right.
Wow.
You know what though? That stands out to me because I know a lot of great musical geniuses are like that. You know what I'm saying? Kanye is like that. Like he'll like the Wyoming shit. That's how that shit came. You know, with him just taking a photo of him driving to his ranch in Wyoming and like
connected to that high frequency. People who connected on that high frequency, you just know like everything is like, you feel me? You just connected with the fucking divinity type shit.
Yeah.
Now I seen something that said you were married at 19 and still are married. Is that true?
Engaged, yeah.
Engaged.
That's
well,
crazy.
I mean, bruh, real quick. First of all,
Chuck didn't even get married that young.
No, I didn't get married that young. But I want you to give some advice to those that are in relationships right now. Have you made your relationship, work throughout the years with your significant other? Because I think that's something that's not really touched on when it comes to artists, because for whatever reason, everybody's a single life and all this that. But for you being engaged, being in a relationship for so long, man, how do you make it work with your significant other?
I say because I really like it's genuine. Like a lot of this shit sometimes be made up. So if you in a relationship and it got something to do with anything other than just your love for this person, then you need to just let that shit go. But at the end of the day, for me, it's just like it was just some real shit. Like at the end of the day, like I look at it as when you out, you doing this, you living this life, like you need foundation. Like you need something to keep your head on, because at the end of the day, you're gonna be hit with millions of shit all day, every day, like all the time. You can't, you feel me? Certain shit you ain't gonna be able to talk to your partner about, or certain shit like this, because he's gonna be looking at you like this or that. So you don't want to do that, but you need somebody to confide to or somebody to talk to, like, you feel me? And then, but it worked both ways. So it's like the female got to be solid and the nigga got to be solid, because you can't expect to not be solid and then expect your female to just be solid, and vice versa. So it's just a both way thing.
Bro, I could probably learn a thing or two from you, because I ain't even been in a relationship as long as you've been in one. Like I ain't had a girl in so long. Obviously we all got introduced to you through the SOBxRBE shit. I already know that you already talked about what y'all went y'all separate ways and stuff like that. But I remember you talking about it, and when you were talking about it, you sounded like very sincere, like you didn't want it to end up this way. You know what I'm saying? Like you really was. I saw it, because I don't fuck with Vlad like that, but I saw what you were saying, and I saw the sincerity in your voice. He was like, bro, I wasn't intending it for it to be like this. I thought we was, a unit and whatnot. What do you guys? How do I say? Do you guys have a relationship outside of music, like at all? Like at all?
Nah, that's the thing about it. Like hell nah, like in that situation, it was just like nigga was like from my album. You go to my album Trust Issues. That's what my whole album Trust Issues was really about.
Right.
If you listen to the song Betrayal, I said I hope it don't come between us four.
Right.
Like, I ain't never said, like, came out and said that it with the funk or this and that and all that shit, but it was in it. Like if you listen to the music, you would know what I'm saying. But,
got you. When you obviously when you make music with somebody, you form a bond and whatnot, and then you also form kind of like a brotherhood. Like me and my boy Chuck, we are brothers in this thing, right? So what do you think is the most difficult part of going solo once a group situation doesn't work out? Just for anybody, it could be, because I noticed I was having this conversation with Omarion or somebody. Once you go solo from a group situation, what's the hardest transition to make?
I say that probably the hardest transition is just motherfuckers accepting the breakup like you have, I guess. Like, cause motherfuckers always going, oh, we want this, we want that, we want this. But like, obviously, it ain't that. Like, you feel me? And then my thing too is the hard thing about it is like, for whatever, like, say it depends on what you is, but in any situation, each person gonna feel like they right or whatever.
Yeah.
It's that person. A lot of motherfuckers can't admit when they're wrong. And that be the problem. And the biggest problem that you're gonna have is trying to convince motherfuckers of the wrong that made you do what you decided to do. Like, that's gonna be your hardest shit, is to convince these motherfuckers to see why you ain't fucking with this or why you didn't do that or why you not doing this no more.
Right.
Like, that's gonna be the hardest thing. So you cannot expect or expect motherfuckers to get it or this or that, because a lot of motherfuckers not gonna get it, because like it's like 98% of the world is like drifters at the end of the day, and it's 2% who really know what's going on in this motherfucker. So 98% of the motherfuckers not gonna feel you.
I feel you. And then also like I look at y'all like close to family because of who y'all associate with. We have a lot of mutual family members and shit like that. So I ain't never dove into the situation. Like me and you, we ain't never talked about it. I'll see you. I ain't never mentioned it or whatever. But did you ever get the chain back that you were speaking about?
Shit. I ain't worried about that shit. Them niggas, I ain't worried about that.
All right, for sure. We off that.
And the thing about it was the chain had never got took. It was stolen.
No, I know. I remember you saying that, but that's what I remember you saying you didn't want it to come up later. Like, oh, they got it.
Well, yeah, but shit, you know, they got to slide about that.
For sure. On the Lord Knows project, okay, I'm listening to the songs, and on some of the songs you bussing, on some of the songs you doing the melody shit. Yeah. I feel like, what's the name of that song? How It Feel. How It Feel, that's my shit. That shit is a slap. You know what I'm saying? But you said something very interesting to me on that song. I have it right here. It says, they never told me you might have to cut off relatives.
Yeah.
Bro, that's the realest shit ever, bro. Like, I want you to dive into that experience, because I think when people get into music or get into entertainment business in general, they don't realize all they see is the chains and the shows and the girls and the fame. They don't see the behind the scenes shit. You know, you got a random cousin that came out of nowhere that need money on his books, or you got a random auntie that need help with her rent, or different things like that.
The strain that it has on your friendships or your relationships. Like, people don't see that side of it.
Yeah. So talk about that a little bit, because I felt like that bar right there, I related to that a lot.
Yeah, because it's like at the end of the day, sometimes what ends up happening is, see, we all come from the struggle. We all come from the ghetto and shit. So most of the times we both in a position of like you and whatever this family member is, whether it's, and sometimes family members, and I ain't even speaking about the family members that come out the blue, because they don't even fucking matter.
Right.
We ain't even talk about them, because they was never relevant in the first place. Yeah. But for the motherfucker that was there with you, like through this process that you gonna have to, it's like this, like how I see it personally, is that a lot of times in this place where you at the bottom or whatever, and you looking up at all these things and all of this shit that you want to do, and sometimes you personally can have your own vision and goals and things that you want to do and accomplish, and somebody else can say that they want for the same thing. And since y'all together and y'all coming out this same place, it's like, okay, we're gonna do this together. Like, it's better together than alone. But when you get further in, you find out that a lot of times these motherfuckers is just sharing your dream. Like, it was never their dream. They never wanted to do it in the first place. It was just, they seen you doing this and they wanted to, I don't know, because I don't get what it is to this day. I don't understand why they do this shit, because I'm going through it as we speak. So probably next album or the album after,
you're going to be talking about it.
I'm probably going to have an answer, because I'm figuring it out right now.
You're figuring it out right now.
So, okay, so I'm glad that you said
but
that.
I know for a fact, though, that it's that a lot of times when you coming up or you together, you think like you more similar than what you really are until you become grown and now you a man, and then you see like, oh shit, like we not really the same. We just are the same bloodline, but we not the same, like in the mind or nothing. We just the same blood. And a lot of times to get further in life, the type of change and the type of evolution that you gotta make, other people not gonna be willing to make. So you can't pull yourself down trying to pull them up. You
Yeah.
just gotta let go.
Right.
How much do you attribute that to you doing music so young? I mean, I feel like you got a lot of life experience. Do you attribute that to you getting into a business at a young age, or is it I was
Yeah,
going through life shit way before that?
yeah, I say that it got to do with that because me starting music at like 8 and it not working, like made me feel, but I'm not realizing that I'm fucking 10 years old. Like
Yeah,
it's not my time yet. In my mind, I'm just thinking
I
like,
need to pop.
fuck, this shit not working. Yeah.
Right, right.
So by the time I'm like 15, 16, I'm like, okay, this shit not working. Fuck it. I'm about to make this shit work. I'm finna jump off the porch. This shit finna get real. I'm finna make this shit happen.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I need to pay these bills. Like,
Yeah.
because that's what you're doing the whole shit for initially. Well, some people, but for me, that's what it was about. It was about helping my grandma out. Because when
Facts.
I came up under my grandma and my grandpa, when my grandpa died, I seen how it was just my grandma and my uncle and my grandma had to do all this and do all that. Like I had slept in the bed with my grandma until I was about, because we was on Section 8, so you know you can
Yeah.
only have so many. So I slept in the room with my grandma until my older uncle who got killed moved out. I slept in the room with her till like I was about 11, 12 years old. So I'm just seeing my grandma doing all this, getting up, hustling, this and that. I think indirectly in my mind, like I wanted to become like my grandpa, like do the shit that my grandpa couldn't do because he wasn't here no more. So
Right.
therefore, it was like once the music shit, but like I said, I started music young, but it wasn't doing what I needed it to do. So I had to go about other ways to make shit happen, and then it just all came together.
That's
Oh,
interesting.
But I never forgot or never gave up or always, no matter what, always knew that I wanted to do music. So whatever it was that I was doing or what I was doing, I always knew like this shit is just for me to go to the mic and have most shit to talk about at the end of the day. That's why I don't be giving a fuck, because it's just most shit for me to rap about. Like that's what this nigga going through this shit for. And get on the mic and regurgitate this shit and let y'all know it, so you can know how to maneuver through this shit now.
I think it's dope that you utilize your personal life experience, because a lot of artists don't want people to know them like that. They don't want people to know that they have vulnerabilities. They don't want people to know that they have struggles. And I think the best artists in the world are the ones who are most personable with their experiences and shit that they go through.
Came from me watching 8 Mile hella much growing up as a little kid. So
Yeah.
I always knew like, nigga, I'm gonna tell you what's the fuck up with me for you could tell me what the fuck up with me.
Right. I like that.
Hey, so what do you do with all you said you and Pac, y'all got in and did 9 songs in a day, right?
Yeah.
Now I know you probably got hella songs, right? What do you do with the shit that doesn't make it to the project or doesn't make it to the solo thing? Like, do you leave it to the side and reuse the verses, or what do you do with the music that's unreleased?
Man, I should just sit in my phone, bro.
Tripping.
You said sit in my phone.
I be thinking like, shit, maybe like if I, but I don't think that day gonna come. But I don't know. Maybe when I'm like hella older or something, they come where I can't think of shit no more. Then
You got a whole EP.
We should start piecing shit together.
Yeah.
Y'all just dropped the Heaven for Thugs video.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and when I was listening to that song, it sounded like you said, life experience. It sound personal shit. What advice would you give to somebody that's 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the streets? Like, because I remember you telling your backstory and you like, you know, with your background and your upbringing and shit like that, and kind of jumping off the porch a little early. Well, not a little early, but a lot early. And you actually, and speaking about the other issue, like you're not giving passes to people. If you old enough to know what you're getting yourself into, then you old enough to abide by the rules that come with that. But what advice would you give to somebody to keep them out of the bullshit? Like if they want to do music or if they want to go be a doctor or whatever, but they got 1 foot in the streets, 1 foot out of the streets, like what would you tell them?
It's your choice, bro. It's that simple. It's either you want to be fully involved in this music shit, or you want to be fully involved in the street shit, or you want to play the thin line. I ain't gonna lie. I'm 22 years old. I don't got the answer. I'm walking the path myself.
Facts.
All I can say is when you make your choice, stand on it and live by it. Don't be doing shit and saying this and that and this, and then once the consequences come, you don't want to suffer the consequences. Just be ready to suffer whatever that consequence is for whatever you choose. That's the only thing I can say.
I fuck with that. Do you think that a lot of times when we make decisions, we may not be aware of the consequences, or you think you are fully aware of the consequences of your actions? Like even yourself, like you say, you 22, so you say you don't have the answer, so you might not be fully aware of the consequences.
Just go back to what I was saying earlier. Like, see, when I first jumped off the porch, I wasn't fully aware. Like, I was aware, but I wasn't fully aware. But that's because a lot of these other motherfuckers made the shit look so good. Like, it looked good. Like, I didn't know this was going to, like, the greater the good, the greater the bad at the same time. So it's like, the shit looked good. I've seen the shine of this and that, the money, this and that. So that's what I wanted. But at the end of the day, that's why I say go back to like I was saying earlier, because now that I done went through a lot of this shit and all this, now before I make a decision, I know I could tell you a million different ways this shit could play out before it even happened.
Yeah.
Like literally. But back then, it was just more off feeling emotion because the nigga was just being more controlled then. Now I'm more in control. So that's the reason why. Because from the ages of like, until you a fucking full adult, you're being influenced, whether you know it or not. Like you're easily controllable, whether you know it or not. So therefore, it's like for all these motherfuckers who be doing this and doing that and making it seem like it's something it's not, bro. You got generations of all these motherfuckers coming up that's looking up to this, that's gonna go through a whole fucked up situation in life, all because your ass want a cap for selling these fucking records.
Right. I feel you.
Yo, T.O., we do something called Curbside Confessions here on the radio, where we do, if you have a crazy story as a driver, as a passenger, as a Uber Eats delivery person, like, have you any crazy stories as a passenger or driver, or like when you deliver food or somebody orders food, any crazy experiences where your food get fucked up or anything like that?
A crazy Uber story,
yeah, we had ordered some food one time to the studio, bro. I think it was like Postmates or something, and it was I think it was Boston Over or something like that. But you know how they got they got the little Dutch fries or whatever at the Boston Nova. I think we had ordered some of them, bro. The nigga pull up, bro. My nigga, the fries are literally like the bag is like turned over in his trunk. He opened the trunk, like the bag like turned over in his trunk. Nigga, the fries are laying on his carpet of his trunk, my nigga. This nigga whoops. Like all in one motion.
That nigga bro. Said whoops.
Inside, back the shit, lift the bag up like this and hand it to me, my nigga. Bro.
Hey, you didn't spaz on him?
Bro. Bro. I looked at this nigga dead in his eyes, bro.
Yeah. Hey, so wait, but you didn't do nothing to him, right? You didn't.
Bro, I was thinking about it, but then I'm like, look,
what you gonna do?
I'm literally like, nigga, it literally say my name right here. I nigga here. I ordered this. Like, no, none of this shit. Bro.
Right.
Damn. But it's like, bro, like
you for sure not getting the tip.
That's hilarious, bro. Hey, you know what's funny though? I hate when people
that nigga, but I don't condone the snitching.
Hey, you stupid. I'm not fucking with you. I hate when people play with my food. Like I rather you low key do something else. But when cause especially when you be hungry, because I know how them studio days go. You be in there 10 hours, bro, and you be starving.
That's why I had to get the bossa novas like 12, 1 o'clock.
Bro. Anyway,
Well, 1 o'clock, you pull up with my fries in your trunk, literally, my
He
nigga.
said, "Whoops."
he said, bro.
Yo, T.O., the year can't end without you doing what, man? Set that intention, set that manifestation, man. What's one thing you want to knock off your goals list before the year ends?
Shit, I've been paying my grandma bills since like 16, 17, but I'm really trying to buy a house though for real.
As you should. That's what's up. Do you prefer the rapping, like were you bussing, or you prefer doing melody more?
You don't write either one, so it don't matter, right?
If you had to choose, which one would you prefer doing more?
Melody. I would prefer to do that, but it's like I came up on like I fuck with like a lot of heavy Tupac, so it's like for me, in order to sometimes get across what I want, I gotta rap the shit. But
right.
like just like for my like personal choice though, I'd rather be on some singing shit. Like
facts. And it's more, female friendly as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because exactly. That's the thing. Like that's the thing, bro. Because it's like you gotta cater to like you feel me. But it's like if you go to one side, then motherfuckers start thinking they could play with you. But then you go to one side, then motherfuckers think that you just one way. So I be trying to blend it in as much as I could. But
you said Pac is one of your favorites. What's your favorite Pac album?
I say my favorite Tupac album have to be Me Against the World.
Right. I love the impact All Eyes on Me had, but I teeter back and forth between Me Against the World and All Eyes on Me.
But I'm not gonna lie though. See, that's my thing. I'm not an All Eyes on Me. I'm more of a Don Illuminati 78.
Machiavelli was different, bro.
Yeah. See, T.O. was different. T.O.'s a little knucklehead, bro. That's why he like all of the bullshit. Like, yeah.
Nah, man, Pac was in his bag on Machiavelli, though. I think for commercial success and the impact, again, Pac had just got out of jail, All Eyes on Me. I can understand why people like it, and it's one of my favorite albums. But, before he went to jail with the Me Against the World and then the shit with Machiavelli.
All Eyes on Me, like, don't get me wrong. It's hard as fuck and it's Pac'd out, but it's just like, it was like I could just like me being an empath, I could just tell it was more like a put together type thing. Like, Don Illuminati, that Machiavelli, this really pop. Like, nigga, this what I feel for real. This is what I gotta say. That was more like hidden, like can't see me and shit like that. Like, what he talking about, but he keeping it on the low. It's more like selling records type shit. This shit,
yeah. He was naming names. Yeah.
All that. I got to say.
Hey, you got a project coming, because I know y'all dropped the joint project, and then you had Jupiter, but you got another project coming.
Yeah, I got a new project coming out probably in like the next couple months called Angels and Demons.
Okay, Angels and Demons. You said next couple of months, so we'll get it before March.
Hopefully, that's in the plans before March, definitely.
Okay,
March,
or in March.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's gonna be all anti-social, like on some Roddy shit. It's just gonna be you by yourself, maybe one feature.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my nigga Lil Sheik on there. I'm gonna have I got on Peasy on there right now, and I mean I
fuck with Peasy. I like Peasy a lot, bro.
That's my nigga. So if anything else come upon, then you feel me, it come upon. But yeah, right now that's as of it right now.
Also, manifest this. Is there anybody that you haven't worked with or haven't been in communication with that you would like to? Who do you want to link with, bro?
Yeah, I ain't trying to think. Like, that's a good ass question. I just recently did something with Boosie. Then let me think though. Who would I want to fuck with?
That you haven't had the opportunity yet.
Bucket list shit.
Yeah. Probably Future.
Okay, I can see that happening.
I already got the young boy, so I said Future.
Okay.
So I said Future.
Throw it out there, bro. Future. When you see this, tap in with young T.O. You know what I'm saying? We good.
Absolutely, man. Hey, we appreciate you taking your time and rocking with us, bro, man. Get back to the video shoot, keep doing your thing, and tap in once we, you get back to LA and we can make this shit happen, bro.
For sure. Appreciate y'all.
It's
for having
All
me.
right,
homegrown,
bro.
homegrown radio, Chuck Dizzle, DJ Head, Young T.O., and we out.